I've been lucky. I've got a few stories where I can share managers who have really been amazing leaders that invested in growth and development as a way that they managed. It wasn't like the special event, it's the way that they did things. And I'll call out in this scenario, I'm thinking about Master Sergeant Conrad Artis. I don't know where you are, but thank you because it was my first job in the military after all the training that I did. And my job was primarily on a computer. And I just, it wasn't engaging to me. And as soon as I figured out how to do the job, I was easily bored. I worked a lot of night shift and I'd want to talk to people and I would bring in Cosmo magazines and I would talk to the Navy SEALs and Marines in there. And, what are your thoughts about this? And how do you think about this? And what do you want to do with your life? Not realizing that this is actually probably the kind of work that I wanted to do. And so it came time for my first review and we were sitting down and I was fully expecting to be written up. I knew that I was distracted and distracting others from their job because I was bored and doing the things that I wanted to do. So I kind of got that I probably wasn't going to get a glowing review. I did good enough work, but not anything special. And instead, Master Sergeant Artis just sat with me and he was like, I see that you've got a skill that's not very common in this field and this ability to talk to people and an ability to kind of spot patterns and how things kind of fit together. And what really hits for me is that in that moment, he absolutely could have just seen the flaw, and rightfully so. And it's not like he didn't address those things with me of well, there's a time and a place for things, but he saw potential and he saw opportunity for me to grow. He saw the best version of me before I even saw it. And I rose to it. I rose to it and I excelled at it. And I later on, it now serves me in the career and the work that I do now. And but what really serves me is the way that he approached seeing everything as a learning opportunity, and that he saw the ability in people versus the dead end or the roadblock in them. He was also just great at learning from me. It wasn't always just that he was like the wise old owl that came down and gave me guidance, which he did a lot of. But in our discussions, he would just collaborate with me. He was interested in how I thought about things and excited about the ideas that I had and how it could elevate stuff. And this is somebody who, I worked with him for maybe a year. This was a year-long engagement and then he retired. But within that year, I grew so much, and it has impacted my career, for more than 20 years because of how he engaged with me and spoke to my mind and spoke to my greatness. And so, one, thank you again, Master Sergeant Artis. You've had a huge impact on myself and I'm sure others, but also to all of us that are people leaders. How do we see that potential in others and also see it in ourselves so we have space for them to have great ideas and that we don't feel like we've got to compete with that or shut that down.